All right. So here's this peach. I'll be honest with you. I'm not that excited about going inside it. As you can see, somebody left her open. You okay?
See it?
This thing's it might be too far gone.
So what are you doing, or what?
Ooh. Hey guys, kind of a cool one. I brought that Ford cab over home the other day, which is a super cool truck, and I'm kind of pumped to get it. I think I'm going to throw a two-stroke in it. I then got a call from my buddy Jason at First Chance Towing, and he said, "Do you guys have any interest in that Buffalo bus?" They're just gonna scrap it, and I said, it's kind of far gone. I don't think it's a restoration candidate, but I'd like to try to start it, take a look at the motor. So I called Joe, and turns out Joe would like that motor. It's a left-handed motor, turns the wrong way. It will go into 4106 he was coming up here anyways because we actually found a 671 head with Jakes on it, which is super, super rare. So I'm going to pick that up for him. And he's going to take a look at that bus, and basically I'm going to try to start to yank the motor out of it and send her on its way. But hopefully it's going to provide life to another bus. So here's that. We gotta say it loud and...
Let's do this.
Yeah! Alright, boys and girls, I figured we should probably do a quick rock around on this guy, give it a little bit more detail. But I think the first thing we're going to do is we're going to pop these valve covers off of here. To what extent we can get them popped off, and take a look at what we got. Everything's frozen up here pretty good, but kind of want to walk around inside this and get a little shot of the interior. This super greasy mud that this thing was living in is, at least it's somewhat frozen, so you can walk around here like a human being. All right. I don't think this thing's going to be HIPAA compliant. Believe it or not. So they got an air compressor going to the suspension, trying to keep the suspension up in the air. There's quite the pile of rat compost in here. All right. Well, I want to be a little careful on the floors because I don't want to go through. But it's like 40 years worth of rat poop. Somebody kept a log on it. That's pretty cool. Last entry in the log was at 28,960, and that was in 79. That's cool. I don't think it's moved a lot since 79, to be completely honest. I don't know if I'm super excited about being in here right now. Well, no, I'll tell you. I don't know. Boy, that is the bed's still made. Oh no, you're selling them. We're gonna crank up this peach of a bus right now if I don't have hantavirus or hepatitis or something yet. From I've never seen so much rat poop in one place in my life. Well, here's the deal, brother. We found a log to this cat. The last entry in the log is in 79 at, it looks like it's at 28,690 on the hub meter. And I believe that's what the hub meter's on now. I just see enough stuff on the outside. It's kind of weird. It's just every little piece of something's hurt somehow. So, just want to show you guys this. This can be this destroyed on the outside. And this perfect. Well, there is. That's not even a spot. That's a spot of oil. This perfect on the inside. Dude, I'm super stoked about this. Not only will this thing run, but it is going to be fantastic. So, yeah, let's get the top cover off. And I don't know that I'm as worried about it being hung up on injectors as I thought it was. Look. The injectors are, can you guys see that? It's I think it's actually hung up in the throttle. The actual racks are perfect. All right, using the old Hank Hamilton portable socket set here. Look at that. Of course, if it had Jake's on it, I'd be really, really happy, but other than the dust I dropped in there, this thing is perfect. And, well, see, the injectors don't move. Oh no, I can't see super well in there. We'll climb up in there, but I think we might have injectors hung up on this side. Tell you what, I'm inclined not to mess with that. I think I'm gonna pull that stop off of there, and we're gonna free this throttle up and see if everything don't want to move. So let's do that, because I think we could be in business right there. All right, do you guys see this? Look at that. We took that frozen stop off of there. And we got, I'm stoked right now, man. We got another compartment full of junk, tanks, mice, no batteries. Huh. All right. If you were batteries on this, where would you be? That's radiator. That's transmission. Can't get the compartment open under the pilot seat, but I don't think this thing should have two like big 8Ds on it. So, I mean, we got this, or maybe up in the coat. Each one of these things is different. I think they were a little custom made, so we'll have to figure it out as we go. We got it. So what do we got here? We got a bungee strap. So we're looking for batteries. I just want to drive around with these things moving around like that. Well, we found the batteries. Now, I think we're just going to leave them cats right there and see if we can't get the ends yanked off them, because they're 8Ds and they weigh a bazillion pounds. There's a battery disconnect switch. So I think we'll just pull these cables out here and set batteries on the ground, and we're ready to start fueling and cranking. So what do you think, Joe? You want to try to get them cables? Should we get them cables off of there and just put the batteries on the ground? They were kind enough to include a wiring diagram for us.
I would attempt to hook that up in 24 volt.
And just leave this, just use two?
Well, yeah, you only need two. So you got to find out who's where. Come on. Why would we want to do that? See, this is the way you take battery cable off. That ties the two hot sides together, and that's the other ground. So all the hot is on that one, and the grounds are on them other two.
Pretty simple.
I'm gonna go unhook the alternator so we don't burn it up.
So we don't try to give these another hit here. And the reason I'm doing that is we're gonna put batteries on there. We're gonna jumper this to 24 volts and spin it pretty quick. But my sincere hope is that we can kind of try to keep these cables sort of alive till we do, so we don't have to cobble everything together. The Joe Macer school of making battery stuff work here, which is universally, well, first of all, I'm gonna face them vice grips the other way. Okay. This in here, ground. I like to use the heavier cable for a ground. Would be my ideal scenario. Of course, this ain't gonna go through that hole without disassembling it.
You want both of them out of there?
Yeah, I'm thinking that's gonna be the.
You need to come from there.
That's the way to do that. And you're cutting the alternator off just so
we don't put 24 volt to hit.
And burn it up. Gotcha.
Yeah.
So
That thing. $1,200.
oh well, yeah, you want to keep that then. That ain't. All right. Okay, so we are ground to the coach, positive to negative. To positive, we are 24 volts, ready to run. I like to note that that's 24 volts without sparks flying anywhere. Normally when I do that, I blow the top off the battery. So first thing we're gonna try to do is see if we can get something to come out of these. Ooh, it's turning.
Were your batteries up to snuff when you brought them, or they needed charge?
They were pretty up to snuff. Okay. So
I got one jumper lead for between the two of them.
So we got something draining out of this filter that I don't know what it is.
Well, look on your gloves. That's fuel.
It doesn't feel like fuel.
It's fuel.
I'm just trying to be super gentle with this thing because it's.
When rusty fuel comes out, when rusty water comes out, there you got an issue.
See what comes out of the secondary. Why ain't you getting loose? So the little retention clip come off the secondary one. All right. Air compressor's running. Fuel process.
So I wonder
We don't have a.
if we can get the return line back over to this side, it would be awesome.
Yeah, I was gonna say without the return line open.
That's about enough mouse crap to do me.
That's a big pile of mouse poo.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Do we need that line to run it?
I have to run it off the bus. I have an alternate sucky line. That's why I took that off.
Oh, goody.
That goes
In there.
in the bucket. My return is
Plumbed up.
there, and it goes in the bucket.
You want to start pumping or is it full?
It's already mostly there. That's a blessing in having a real motor.
Oh, wow. But that primed up nice and quick, didn't it?
Oh yeah, that's what's.
That even looks sort of fuel-like.
That's what's good about having.
Huh.
This ain't the world's greatest pump, but it's
Introducing a lot of air. We are gonna go make sure this girl. Okay. I'll tell you what, she feels pretty neutral-ish.
fire in the hole.
What's that? That's good? Well, it's smoking like my RV does.
See how it blows? The exhaust suspension is so tight on that that it can't hardly breathe. Hit it. Hold on. You know how to start that one? Close that? Now hit it. Oh, you got the best connection.
Whoa!
Yard that off of there if it's smoking.
We're gonna actually buck this thing off here, and I'm gonna run the throttle and the stop lever here. I'm gonna run her up, let it drop down, and when the idle drops down, Joe's gonna drop her in gear, and then I'm gonna give her, and we're gonna hope it drives through the weakest brake and starts spinning a tire. And then it'll be good and happy doing that, and then we got it in gear, and then we could try to walk it out of here. Because if that happens, I can run over and disconnect the batteries and all kinds of fun things.
Well,
but
if we can get it to rock a little, then we got a chance.
if not, we're just gonna go get the excavator and
Drag it over the bank.
drag it over the bank. But I think this is our preferred plan. What, are you gonna adjust the governor on that?
No, I'm gonna see if I'm correct in my assumption of what it's hay work. Oh, the no load speed on this is 1960, which means it'll only turn 1800 on a 100 load.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
That's the way they built these when they were new.
Just so you couldn't hurt them?
Well, yeah, and they were better on fuel. No, I think the biggest thing about Greyhound and all those guys was, well, Greyhound especially, because they tested everything on these things. That they could tell you exactly how much fuel it would use, how long it would last,
To the penny.
because they, I don't think all driving people around in bus seats is very lucrative. Joe's trying to shove it in here.
So here's the plan. Might not be what you call a great plan.
See? When you do that and it pokes the high-speed plunger out,
Yeah.
rack is way wrong.
Way set wrong.
Yeah.
So our plan is, we got to get this thing up out of this hole, and we're going to pull the motor out of the back of it. So the clutch is hung up. So to do that, we are actually going to start it in gear. It'll start in gear, and then we are going to punch the throttle, roll it up out of this hole, and I'm going to hit the stop before it goes off the side of the cliff and kills Joe.
Or whoever else is down there.
Actually, there's a nice big tree there to stop it, but
There's a highway.
and there's a highway, but there's a big tree to stop it before we get to the highway. So I'm gonna, on a scale of our best plans ever, I'm really gonna give this one a 4.
3 or 4.
3, maybe 3. Because we gotta hope the coach doesn't outrun me when he punches the throttle, which it should.
Oh no, you're the man with the throttle.
Oh, you're right.
Remember?
I got the throttle and the stop. I'm screwed. Let's hope we don't start this in reverse or I'm a dead duck.
The only advantage is that it won't go in reverse.
That's a good point. We can't get it to go in reverse. So, there's actually holes rusted in the valve cover. So we had to silicone it shut.
That was easy. The nuts come on and off and the bolts don't even wiggle. Oh,
Really?
These are in the other way around. Oh, did it come loose?
Oh, it's
It's okay. It can't come out. That one can't come out.
okay. I just didn't want to come down and smack you in the head.
This one over here looks a little more problematic.
Well,
It is not happy looking. Oh, I thought it was. I thought it was the same as the other side with the. And it.
inverted nuts.
No, these. It's the same as the other.
All right. Make bad choices.
Something out of the fan. I thought it was a rat.
Oh, that thing. I thought it was a wrapper. It is.
Well, I see it kind of out of the corner of my eye. I thought it was a rat.
Well, dude, look at that exhaust. I mean, how? Oh, that ain't exhaust. What is this? Water? adjustment on the clutch, and thing flew like a power steering line right out of there. Alright, well, we're gonna try. We are gonna try to drive this bad boy out of here. By the way, I gotta tell you, these little cat backhoes are so nice. They just ain't nothing to them. Like, what, one come out of there?
Yeah, pivoted. Squirt it toward you a little bit so it sets up on the ground better. Keep coming.
There you go.
Now set it down and get a hold of it. There you go.
Make your life a lot easier.
So I think
Let's see, what's your executive plan here, Joe?
make sure this all turns out like it's supposed to. Because I got to work in the pile afterwards. Is that all you got? You got to pull it this way away from the tree. Yeah. You want to back up and get closer to it?
You want me to tighten up your cable a little bit?
I'm going to try to get it spin around here so it'll go around that.
Watch your hammer. Hold up. So sadly, we are at the last step for the Buffalo bus. She has been hauled away, and you're gonna love this because this is genius. I did it myself. But this is we had to get the fuel out of it. And while you think the fuel was bad, I've actually been running it in the squeeze, and it's been loving it. Quite frankly, the fuel economy jumped way up. And I mean, obviously we filtered it twice, so skip the comments. The fuel economy jumped way up, and it's about half as loud. It's got way more power, and it's just much happier on diesel. But so here's my little contraption. So obviously we had to get this big mother of a tank out because the tanks had to be out. So we pumped the diesel into the water tank, and then we brought both of these home. And I stole the water pump. I stole the water pump out of the bus, and I'm using my starting batteries to transfer from that tank to that tank so I can push it around and put it, when I get over there, into my gas pump. And I have to tell you, Joe Macer collaborated on this awesome system. It's perfect in every respect. Except I hooked it up backwards on the water pump because the arrow was hard to find. And I just pumped about 10 gallons of diesel down the driveway. Well, not down the driveway. I'm obviously going to pick it up with some sawdust and stuff. But we did have a small diesel spill. So, we're going to get to work on this. I'm going to reconnect it now the proper way. And we are going to commence operation suck to blow to tank. By the way, I can't wait to get to work on this guy. I'm missing it, man. There's so much going on right now. We got the hood on this dude. We're getting brake cans on it. And eventually, as you know, I had to get back to work. So let's grab some vice grips and start pumping. It's cheery. It's mint. All right, guys. I hope you had fun with that. It was pretty cool. It was a lot of fun to do. Kind of cool to have a Willett start go pretty straightforward. I think that one's maybe been sitting the longest of anything I've done. So, I don't know. It's close. Just because we don't have 100% date on that one other than a long, long time. Don't forget your merch. Christmas time. Everybody needs cool stuff. So this is about wildlife, the farm, mechanicking, and this is just equipment. So it's about a lifestyle. It's a brand. You guys got to embrace it. Happy holidays. I mean it. Stay out of trouble, and I will see you on the flip side.